It's Thursday, the 27th of June. My name's Juan Brown. You're watching the Blancolirio channel, and it's time for a 737 update. CNN is trying to do a 737 MAX update today, reporting that a microprocessor failure is causing a delay in the 737 recertification program with the FAA. That's not exactly the case. Unfortunately, the AP is running with exactly whatever CNN is reporting, and that's kind of spreading the potential misinformation. I checked in with our friends at Aviation Week and Space Technology, and they have a little clearer picture as to what's going on with the 737 MAX update and what's going on with the FAA testing of the 737 MAX in the simulator. CNN is reporting today the following. In simulator tests, government pilots, that's better known as the FAA, discovered that a microprocessor failure could push the nose of the plane toward the ground. It is not known whether the microprocessor played a role in either crash. When testing the potential failure of the microprocessor in simulators, it was difficult for the test pilots to recover in a matter of seconds, one of the sources said. And if you can't recover in a matter of seconds, that's an unreasonable risk. Well, that's not exactly what's going on in the simulator over at Boeing. Here's what's actually going on. What the FAA pilots are finding out in a simulator testing at Boeing of the new 737 MAX is that when they're running a standard run-of-the-mill runaway trim scenario, that they're not happy with how quick, or that the electric manual trim control on the pilot's yoke, how quick that responds. Of course, there's a series of computers that go from the manual electric trim input on the yoke to the actual stabilizer trim jack screw, and in one of those computers is a microprocessor that controls that process, and trim rates vary depending on airspeed and aircraft configuration, and the computer controls that trim speed. So what the FAA pilots are basically complaining about is that it's a little too slow for the aircraft to trim using the manual electric trim on the pilot's yoke. It's not so much a problem with the microprocessor, it's just that the microprocessor controls the rate of trim, and they're considering readjusting that. Now, are they going to be able to fix that with a software fix? That would be the easy and quick fix. Or are they going to have to create a whole new microchip and create the new architecture for that microchip to plug into the 737 MAX, and that's what's going to take additional time and what folks are looking at right now. So let's go a little deeper review of 737 systems. Again, we've been reviewing all of this throughout the whole series of videos on this channel. Over the years, the 737 design has grown considerably, and part of that growth includes larger horizontal stabilizers to maintain an inherently stable design in pitch. Trim to 5 to stay alive. In the middle of the green band is the happy place for the 737 to be for its pitch trim stability. In manual flight, that pitch trim is controlled manually using the electric pitch trim switches mounted on the pilot and co-pilot's yoke. Pitch trim inputs run through a series of computers before actually moving the stabilizer jack screw. So when FAA pilots were running through the standard runaway stabilizer emergency procedure in the simulator with the 737 MAX, when they got to step 2, where it says control airplane pitch attitude manually with the control column and main electric trim as needed. It's at this point that the FAA pilots were not satisfied with the rate of trim. In other words, the aircraft was not trimming fast enough to quickly resolve an out-of-trim situation in the time required. The FAA pilots said they had a difficult time quickly resolving the situation. So it's not a microprocessor failure that's driving the nose of the aircraft down and into the ground as being reported by CNN. What FAA pilots are not happy with is the rate of change of trim by the current program as programmed by the microprocessor. So it's not a failure of the microprocessor, it's the program that the microprocessor is running right now. Though all this has little to do directly with the new MCAS system in the 737 MAX, a failure in the MCAS system drives you to the runaway stabilizer trim checklist emergency procedure. And getting the aircraft back into a trimmed state quickly is critical. As we get more information on the 737 MAX and its recertification process, we'll keep you updated here. I also want to remind everybody to mark your calendars for Saturday, July 20th, as we're having our local air show here in Grass Valley and Brewfest. We got a great bunch of historic aircraft, P-51s, Sea Furies, B-25, DC-3, whole lot of antique and trainer aircraft. Yours truly will be narrating the event along with my dear friend Tim O'Brien, aviation photographer. So come on out, say hi. If you're from overseas or can't get here in time, maybe I'll do a quick live shot of the entire event and show you some of the airplanes that showed up on Saturday, July 20th. See you here.